Hello, wealthy women. I am so excited to bring you this beautiful success story interview. I want you to get to know Lesley. So, she is all about working through emotions, helping you with habits, getting your whole life on track, not just, your health and fitness. This is a whole holistic package. So, what I would like to do is pass the camera and mic over and let her tell you all about her work, why she's passionate about it, how she can help you, and how you can find out more about her services. And then after that, as you know, we'll go into this great round of success questions and have a wonderful interview. So go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lesley Zwick. I am a certified holistic performance coach. So those are kind of crazy words. You're like, what is she even talking about? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my history, how I got here, and what a performance coach does, what I do, and how I help people. So my journey actually in coaching started almost 8 years ago. And I started in the weight loss and wellness industry. I started as a weight loss and wellness coach. And I started this because I was on my own personal journey to get healthy. It's something that I've struggled with my entire life. And about 7.5, almost 8 years ago, I decided enough was enough. And I was tired. I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So I knew the first place that I needed to start was with the physical, the practical, tactical, losing the weight, getting healthy. But I've done that before. I had done that many, many, many times, too many times to count. I had gained and lost hundreds of pounds over and over and over and over. And I was sick of that. I was done. I did not want to, when I said, this is it, this is the last time, I was serious. It was the last time. And so to do that, I knew I had to do things a little bit differently. So while I did the weight loss piece, which is science, and I love helping people do that, I knew that I had to shift what was going on up here in the mindset, because if I didn't change that, I was going to stay in this same cycle around and around and around and around in circles. But I started with the tactical practical. I started with the weight loss piece. But I did branch into the mindset, and I had a coach myself, because I wasn't a coach at the time yet, but coaches need coaches. We all need coaches. We all need
Absolutely.
somebody alongside us. And so really through this, I started to change my outlook on life. I started to change my outlook on the world. I started to change my mindset very quickly. I lost a lot of weight. I lost 75 pounds in the course of 7 months. And while doing this, people were watching my journey and they started asking me for help. How are you doing this? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? And I knew that it was different this time because I really was changing what was going on up here, and I was changing what was going on in here. And so I started paying it forward. I started as a weight loss and wellness coach, and I started coaching people. And over the last almost 8 years, I've helped a whole lot of people lose a whole lot of weight. And that's been wonderful. But through this journey, what I've really learned is how to truly connect with who I am in here, which is how I've kept my weight off. Now, I haven't been perfect about it. None of us are perfect about it. Life happens, things happen. That's science. Weight happens. But what has changed so much is the relationship that I have with my own self, and how I look at the world and the energy around it. Our whole world is it's energy, right? We're 99.999% energy. Feelings are energy, emotions are energy, holding on to weight or not holding on to weight. It's all about old energies. And over the last few years, as I've really branched into this, I've always been into energy work, and I hadn't ever tied the two together. And a few years ago, I decided to start to tie the two together. And as I've tied the two together, that is what has made the change. And so as a holistic performance coach, I know I said I was going to answer sort of that question. What I do is I help people figure out what are old patterns, because patterns are just energy, that are keeping us from reaching our goals, whether it is weight loss, whether it is a financial goal, whether it's a relationship goal, no matter what it is, it's all the same stuff. What is there? And I help you clear that energy that's surrounding that so we can actually reach our goals and move forward, continue to dream and be able to build these dreams and make them a reality. Because so many of us get stuck, right? We dream it, we think it, and we start to work towards it, and then we hit our wall, and then we backtrack. And so my goal as a coach is to help people break through that. So I help people move from point A to point Z very, very quickly, because we clear that energy surrounding that, and we work through that, and we dig deeper, and we find what I call energetic addictions and energetic allergies to things, and we clear them. So an energetic addiction, we can literally be addicted to anything, but oftentimes we're addicted to the things that aren't serving us well. So I was addicted to holding on to the old weight. I was addicted to financial struggles. That was a whole big piece of our story. I was addicted to having, difficulty relationship wise with certain people, right? Those were addictions to me. And I was energetically allergic to the things that I wanted. I was energetically allergic to being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle in all different ways. So when you have those things, when you clear those energetic addictions and allergies, boom, it's gone. And then you can start to move forward. You can start to achieve your goals. So this is really possible for everyone in any area of their life. And that's what I love helping people do. So the transformation is like that when we start to go into it. And it's really fun and it's really exciting and it really opens it up to you can achieve anything in your life that you want. It's there for you to have. You just have to take that step forward and clear out that energy around it that's preventing you. So many of us, you've probably heard of manifesting. A lot of people talk about manifesting. Sometimes manifesting isn't just saying what you want. That's a piece of it. And that's an energy, right? We put that energy out there that this is what I want. But some of us are really good at manifesting it, but we're not good at holding on to it. That's an energy, right? We have that energetic addiction to pushing away the things that we manifest, right? So that's one thing that I help my clients do is be able to actually manifest and hold on to what we're manifesting. So all of these things a lot of people talk about using words, right? Building what we want, positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are great. But what happens with those positive affirmations? I can say the positive affirmations all I want, but if there's an energetic piece in me that doesn't believe that, we're going to push it away, right? I can say I am the healthiest version of myself, but if there's a piece inside of me that's going, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. I can say that affirmation over and over and over all I want, but it's not going to happen. So when I work with clients, we come up with those positive affirmations and we clear that underlying stuff that's saying, no, you're not, right? And one of the ways I like to explain this is, you can have a pile of poop and put whipped cream on top of it, which is pretty much what your affirmation is doing. You're putting whipped cream on it, still doesn't taste good. We have to clear that stuff out underneath, and then we can make it real. So this is just a few things that I do with people as a holistic performance coach, right? I help you figure out how and what you need so that you can best perform. So if you're looking to figure out how to work with me, you can go to resetrebuildrestore.com/opportunity. And I have got a bunch of different ways, or just resetrebuildrestore.com. It'll take you to the same place that will allow you to start to see. I've got a variety of ways different people can work with me. They can work with me one-on-one coaching. I have a group program where we come in each week. It's a closed community group where we do group alignments. I actually have our next session is later today. We do it each week. We have a session. I have a variety of different programs. I actually have a weight loss and wellness program that is all around energy, weight loss, and wellness that's launching in January, which I am super excited about because so many of us are where I was 8 years ago, sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And we know how to do the diet, right? Every one of us knows how to do the diet, but this program isn't going to be about the diet. This program is going to be specifically in the month of January about clearing the energy around that. So whatever weight loss program you are or you're not doing, will actually be able to be successful. And I don't know how many people here have jumped into the intuitive eating kind of program. Well, what in the world is intuitive eating? Okay, this is a big thing for me. People used to always say, yes, intuitively eat. Okay, I will tell you, if I'm going to intuitively eat, the chocolate chip cookies are always, my body's always going to say, yes, I want the chocolate chip cookie. So part of what I'm going to be teaching people to do in this program is really understand, how do I listen to my body? What does intuitive eating mean? What food is just energy? Which foods are energetically aligned with my body in this moment? Because what it is right now and what's an hour from now are going to be two different things. And we don't realize that, and we don't know that. So I'm going to teach people how to do this. So super exciting, a lot of cool things coming up to help people, like I said, transform and build themselves into the life and in that that you are meant to have, because we're all meant to have amazing lives and we can do it.
I tell you, I really love this. You kind of pointed out when you said it that your habits are energy. And it kind of was like, yeah, that's true. We tend to sometimes think of energy much more like in the positive, like you said, manifesting good affirmations, positive thinking. But maybe we don't really think that our negative habits are actually energy too. And that kind of like had a light bulb in me. And what made me think about it, like a little analogy was, let's say there's some person in your life that for whatever reason you're holding a resentment, right? Well, there, if that resentment is there, it's blocking an opening to receiving a change. And it reminds me what you're saying also, like about like even health habits. If we did yo-yo dieting and that's all we have known, we lose a little, we gain it back, we lose a little, we gain it back. How can we just without help not follow that same pattern? Because that's familiar to us. And so we keep staying in that negative energy. And I love what you're saying because I really never um, kind of really connected a negative habit as energy. Because of
Yep.
course it's kind of like bad energy. So we don't talk about the bad energy, but if we get rid of the bad energy, then we can make those changes. And I can see how you're saying it can be a snap of a finger where it just changes instantly because there's no anchor to that thing that you used to behave and respond to because now
Yep.
you interrupted the cycle. So I
Yep. And
love
you
this.
have to interrupt the cycle, because what happens, a lot of us just push it down and just say,
Yeah,
I'm not going to do this anymore. But that energy is still there. So literally by clearing the energy, which can happen very quickly,
yeah.
you
Hmm.
can break that cycle. So it's the same thing with all the positive affirmations. We throw all this positive stuff on top of it, but
Yep.
we're not clearing that energy. But everything is energy. Pain is an energy.
Yeah,
I haven't
absolutely.
taken a Tylenol for a headache, and I don't even know how long, because a headache, it's just energy. So you can clear that. I fell last week and a half ago, and hurt my ankle. And my daughter's convinced that I fractured it. I have no idea whether I fractured it or not. There is zero pain because I sat down and I did some energy work on it quickly, and it's swollen and it's black and blue because it has to heal. I did some damage to it,
Yeah,
but there's zero pain because pain is just an energy. We were
yeah,
on a vacation. I was like, I don't have time for pain.
yeah,
And so I
exactly.
cleared the energy around it, and I was like, there's no pain.
Yeah.
So whether it's
And
fractured,
I
whether it's
kind
not fractured, I don't know. I don't care. Like, it'll do its thing,
yeah,
you know.
and I kind of also like what you're saying. Like, let's go back to the yo-yo dieting, right? So people get excited, they lose a little weight, then they fall off the wagon, they get the weight again, they go back. And unfortunately, what that's also doing is you're trying so hard and then you're beating yourself up when you so-called fail. And it's just a negative energy cycle. So we are actually being so much harder on ourselves and critical of ourselves than we even need to be because that's not even the problem. It's an energy focused problem. So I love that you really, we got this. This is great.
Yep.
Okay, so fantastic. You have all women reach out to Lesley. She's amazing on all the different aspects of things. But now we're going to get into some success questions. So I'm excited to hear your perspective on some of these, mostly in relation to how you built your business, like that journey of, and
Yep.
of course, we're still always on the journey, right? So, okay, so the first question is, if you could choose one answer, what is the number one way that building your business has enriched your life? Number one.
Oh, building my business has totally enriched my life. I was actually asked a similar question last night, which, and the question last night was, if you had done every single thing on your bucket list, didn't need any more money, didn't like what, didn't need everything, was just, what would you be doing right now? And my answer, like split second, was exactly what I'm doing, right? Like,
The
this is
happiness.
totally my joy of helping people find who they are inside of here and connect to their true version of themselves, their light in here. And so, like, that's what I love about what I do, is because I truly help people very quickly change their lives and figure out who they are and what their purpose in this world is, because we all
Love
have
it.
an amazing purpose in this world. And so it's just been so much fun, like, that I have these tools, that I've been given this gift to help people
Yes,
do this
yes,
and to
yes.
clear that junk that's keeping them from doing that.
You know what? I want to add to this because what you just said, that you have this amazing gift to help others in the world. So for all of the women that are out there, kind of spinning in perfection. Oh, I need to get my website just right. I need to do this right. And kind of hiding, or you're afraid of being visible because it's scary. The thing you have to remember, the most important thing is the longer you take to get your gift out there, the less people have the chance to receive your gift.
Yep.
And so I always think you sort of have an obligation to serve the world in the way that you're supposed to serve the world. So get out of your perfectionism, get out of your fear, and just go for it. And to tell you the truth, not one of us are offended when someone shows their real authentic self, bloopers and all, as they say. We love that. We don't want you to be perfect, because if you're too perfect, it puts pressure on us. So the less perfect you are, the more we get to relax too. So for all you women now out there that are hesitating, please just jump. The
None of
nebula
that
fear.
stuff matters. The website
Yes,
doesn't
that's it.
matter. None of
Message
that
matters.
matters. Like
The
that's one thing that I had
message.
to learn, because I was one of those people that
We
hid
all
behind
do.
that
We
stuff,
all
right?
do.
It's totally normal. And I had to align to that
Normal.
and clear the energy. That was an old energetic addiction and allergy. I was addicted to, whole like needing it to be perfect, and that has to be ready before I could launch. And that was one of the things that I had to clear. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
It's like,
And you're so right. You're not alone in that. I had the same exact thing. And it's funny, as soon as you get on the other side of it, which is very quickly, you realize, oh my goodness, that was like not a big deal. I made it
right.
such a big deal. Just let's keep moving forward, right? That's what
Yep.
I always say. Keep moving forward. Okay, another question. What empowering routines, what I like to call wealthy woman habits, do you follow each and every day?
Oh, so I have a variety of things that I do every day. So the way I start my morning, which is so important, I use a system that scans my whole body and it uses my voice, scans my whole body, and gives me tones it can see where I'm out of balance energetically. And so it gives me tones to listen to that puts my body back into balance energetically. So that's how I start my day every single morning. I sit down, I run this scan, I listen to my tones. It's about a 15-minute routine that I do. And that's how I start my day. Well, before that, I start my day with writing out gratitudes and those kinds of things. But right after that, this is where I go into it, because it puts my head in that headspace of being balanced back out. Our energy is always going in and out of balance. So that's an important piece to my routine. Getting some sort of physical exercise, and I'm not a gym person. I hate the gym, but just doing something to be active and get my body moving is an essential piece to my day. Doing a little bit of personal development, reading is essential to my day. Doing a few minutes of journaling is essential to my day. Where those fit in, sometimes juggle depending on, I have 3 kids, and that I homeschool. So sometimes
Oh, wow.
that gets juggled around. Getting them going in the morning and the things happening. But the first thing that starts, I list out a minimum of 3 gratitudes every morning, and I run my tones. My kids know, you don't bother me until I've done
I love this.
that's done.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
and it's
Yes.
really powerful.
And it really helps set the tone, so to speak, of the day.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Um, a lot of business owners, we like to talk about marketing, especially in the beginning. There's a lot of people are curious, like, what was your way that you first marketed your business, and what might you suggest to someone who might be just so brand new and they're feeling so overwhelmed with all of the options out there. And that can be, of course, a deer in headlight experience when you don't know what to do, because it's all good, really, all of them are great, but what do you do, so how
Right.
did you do that?
So when I launched almost 8 years ago, social media was fairly new in the world of marketing a business. So the truth was, I lived my journey out loud, and just really talked about and was real and authentic. And you said this before, like my bloopers and all of that went out loud. And I still do that. I do some of the other marketing pieces, but the truth is, people want to connect with me, right? There
Yes.
are a lot, especially when my main focus was weight loss and wellness. There were a lot of weight loss coaches out there, but the people that connected with me, and I grew my business very quickly, was because they liked who I was. They liked what I was saying. They felt a connection to me. Not everybody did, and that's okay. Totally cool, right? You want to connect with the person that you're going to work with. So that's really the number one thing that I would tell someone who's starting their marketing, whatever marketing you're going to do, you need to be you and
Mm,
real and authentic and not what you see everybody else being, because you're not everybody else. So
yes.
you are you, and you have amazing special gifts to give to this world, and nobody else is you. Even if they have your same skills, they're not you, and their energy isn't you. So be you, because you're going to pull in the people that want that. And that's what I love. And that's still what I do. What you see from me, if you go on my main Facebook timeline, what you see is what you get. And that's what we really want to be, is who we are truly in here. We want that to shine out. And
Yes.
it's not going to be for everybody. And
Yes.
that's okay. Like, I
Yes.
actually had a coach that I work with who said to me, "How many haters do you have?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't want haters." He said, "Yes, you do. Because if you don't have haters yet, you're not being you loud enough, because not
Oh,
everybody's going to like you." Right.
mhm.
And so that's the key. And it
I
really,
love
like,
that.
to me, I don't want to be hated. Right? I just
I
want to be.
know it's a tough one, but I love what a great advice from your coach. And I also want to also point out what you're saying, that sometimes if someone's just starting on their journey and it's a similar journey of others that are already doing it, they feel, oh, there's already enough people doing that. There's no space for me. And this is exactly, I love your answer, because there's enough space for everybody, because we only need a certain amount of people to be in our tribe to be successful business owners, and you'll find you. And if you're not the right person, they'll find the other, and there's enough space for everybody to shine and be who they are. So, and I love this great advice. If you haven't had a hater yet, you haven't been putting yourself out there enough, right? So
Exactly.
welcome it. Say
Exactly.
thank
Yeah.
you. I made it when you get your
Yep.
first, person or
Exactly.
something like that. Yeah. But I get it. I love that, because now you just took off so much sting of worry from people just saying that one thing. So thank your coach for that. That was a good
I
one.
will.
I love it. I love that. Um, okay, well, here's another one. What was one of the biggest challenges you had to overcome as you were just growing your business?
Um, so part of it was the biggest piece of it that I had to overcome, that I still am overcoming, is, who am I to do this? Right? Like, that own
Imposter syndrome,
self-talk,
right?
right? Of like, why me? Right? How can I really help people? And I know I do it all the time. I see the stuff, but it still goes through my head. Why me? How can I actually do it? Can I actually help these people the way I want to help them, and believe that I can help them? And that's a big powerful thing. And most of us, I think, building businesses, as I talk to a lot of women, as I help a lot of women in their businesses, they feel that same way. And so again, this is just an energy. This is just a thought process that we can clear that, and we can connect to that energy of, you know what, I was given this gift. I can
Yeah.
do this. And it will be natural and it will be normal for that to pop back into your head. So I want people to know that if you struggle with that also, like, who am I to be doing this? When I first started in weight loss and wellness, I remember I had been very successful on my program. I was doing amazing. I had all these people that were reaching out to me. Like I said, my business grew very quickly. And I remember, before I would get on any coaching call with somebody, I would pace back and forth and back and forth and back and forth before I would call them, going, who am I to make this phone call? Who am I to be telling these people, helping these people? But then I'd have to go through my head and say, wait a minute, they hired me. So clearly they see something in me. So I got to go for it. Like, and it does it when you just keep doing it, you get through that. And whatever that challenge is, when you just keep doing that, are you going to make mistakes? Of course. I
Yeah.
wish so badly I could go back and re-coach some of those first 5, 10, 15 people that I coached, because, like, even the first 3 years worth of people that I coached, I'm a completely different coach, right? You know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, and as my business has more from weight loss and wellness, I would also love to go back and re-coach some of the people that I coached early on in my energy coaching days, right? Because we learn and we grow. And just know that people come into our lives at exactly the right time, and you're giving them exactly what they need at that time, and that's okay, right? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
they'll come
I
in when
also,
it's ready for you.
yes, exactly. And I also love your answer, because that desire, where we have that, let's just call it imposter syndrome. Who am I? It's stemming from actually also a very good place, because what that is really saying is you have so much desire to do so good and right by that person that is coming from such a beautiful place of wanting to give, overgive, or just be fantastic for them. I have this in my business all the time too. It's like, and you always want to improve, or you do improve over time. And then, like you're saying, you want to go back and re-gift some of the things that you learned along the way to your, the beginning people that started with you. But the bottom line is that if you're feeling that kind of like a little bit of, let's just call it a healthy stress, it's coming from a beautiful place. Yes, there might be a little bit of self-doubt you have to work on, but on the flip side of that is this is just a desire that you have to do right by another human being. That's really cool. Ethics and morals and values. So just give yourself credit even when you feel like an imposter, because that's just you wanting to show up really well, right?
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
others. So yeah, I love that. Okay, so do you agree that I think we know the answer, but one more time we'll say it. Do you agree that mindset is more important than systems and strategies, and why? Or could it be a combination?
It's definitely a combination. So your mindset has to be there. So I'm certified as a mindset coach, and I'm also certified in the energy world. So I have a variety of different certifications, but you need both. If all you have is the mindset, but you don't have any systems and strategies, you're not going to get anywhere. So, and this
Yeah.
is one of the things that I work with a lot of people on is they get into this world of fantasy and this dream world and all this, they start building this perfect world in their heads, but they don't have the structure and this to actually create it. So you need that balance. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right ability to dream, but then you have to take the action steps, because dreaming without action, you're not going to get anywhere. So one of the big things that I teach is we're all, picture the Grand Canyon and you're standing here on this side of the Grand Canyon, looking across at the future version of yourself. And you can see that future version of yourself and you can see how perfect she is and who's standing there with her and what are all the things. But you have to build the bridge to get across, right? If you hop in a helicopter and fly across, you're not going to learn anything. You're not going to have any growth. You're going to have your current version of yourself standing on the other side with your future version of yourself and looking
Yeah.
at each other.
Yeah.
But those action steps are the bridge that you start to build one plank at a time across that Grand Canyon to get there. And that's how you change. That's how you morph. That's how you become that future version of yourself. So you need the combination of that mindset, of that right mindset, of that clearing that energy, all of those pieces. And then you need to take those actions. And as you're taking those actions, your mindset's going to shift some more and it's going to change and you're going to start to create new habits and you're going to align to new things and you're going to clear other energies that are going to come up and you're going to do all of those pieces to morph yourself to get across that other side of that Grand Canyon.
I love that. And that's great to have that analogy with it too, because then you can kind of anchor to the whole concept of it in a more, tangible manner. I love that. That's fantastic. Another question. What will you never compromise on with your business?
Family time.
Ah,
Family comes first. My kids come first, my husband comes first. Everything that I do um, is to help others build, figure out, find their best selves, connect to their best selves. And I got to do that with my family first, right? I got to
yes.
teach my kids to do that work. We all have to do this. So, that definitely comes first. But my kids know that when I'm working with clients, I'm working with clients, but they know that they have a space that comes first. So it's finding that balance, and it's absolutely so many people struggle with work-life balance. Um,
Yeah.
but
This is,
it's possible, it's doable. Um,
yeah.
and it's amazing. I've taught my kids, we die with memories, not with dreams. So we just, came back from the most amazing 2-week trip, out of the country. And I worked a little bit while I was there, but family comes first.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah.
You know what? This makes me, I don't have this on my questions, but because you're talking, I know you mentioned you're homeschooling your children, yet you're running your own business. And many of the women here have children, they're running their businesses. And what you just talked about, that your children do respect your time when it's your business time or your morning routine. I think it might be helpful if you could share a little bit for those women with children that are working from home, that are trying to figure out, how do I teach my children those boundaries, or even my husband, or have someone take me seriously, that just because I'm doing my business from the home office doesn't mean it's not a true blue business. This is a great question. I've never asked before, and I'm sure this would be very helpful to a lot of women out there if you have some sage advice for them.
Absolutely. So, first of all, you have to know your boundaries. That is the number one thing. So often, as moms, we don't set boundaries for ourselves. So, and this is something that I've had to learn. I've had to learn how to set those boundaries. Do my kids cross over the boundaries sometimes? Yes. Do they open my door behind me and whatever when I'm on with clients? Sometimes, yes. And I just have to remind them, right? So it's okay. They're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So that's the first thing that you have to understand. It's hard to build a business in your home with your kids around, but the more you set those boundaries and hold to those boundaries, the better it's going to be. My kids also know that my time with them is sacred.
Mm,
So if we, and that's something that I've taught them. So if we have time blocked off that we're going to go do something, it's blocked off on my calendar and clients can't grab that time. So they know that just as my time with my clients is sacred, my time with them is sacred. So
beautiful.
they don't feel like, at least I hope they don't feel like they're getting pushed aside for my clients. Sometimes they might, because they're kids and they want what they want when they want it. But if you ask them in a time when they're not, they'll say that they know that my time with them is sacred. They know that I will do what I can. I love to travel with them. I love to do things with them, and I'll say to them, tell me when you want to do it and let's block, and I'll block it in my calendar so nobody can grab that time. So that's an important thing, to really set that up. Know that it's a process. My kids also know we did not always homeschool. We started homeschooling during the pandemic. It just sort of happened, right? Whatever, it just sort of happened. But through that has been the most amazing thing, because our kids are only little and my kids aren't
Yeah.
little anymore, but for a short amount of time. I mean, my kids are now 16 and a half, 14 and a half, and 13. So they're getting big. And I treasure this time with them. So they know that, but it's also, they know that I have to work. I remind them they're big enough to understand that if I don't work and if I don't have clients, we can't afford to do the fun
Yeah.
things that we do.
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
afford to go on these crazy vacations that I love to take my kids on. We can't, we moved from Michigan to Florida during the pandemic, sort of. I tell people we moved here on accident because we love Disney. We can't afford to have annual passes to Disney and go whenever we want if I don't work. There has to be that balance. So even little kids, even if you're a mom and you're listening to this and you're like, my kids are 3, 5, and 7, they get it. Like,
Yeah.
they understand when you say to them, if you want to do this, I have to do this first, right? We
Yes.
will get
Yes.
to do this, right? So that balance, and the earlier you start teaching that and the more you hold to those boundaries, the more they're going to learn it. And the amazing thing out of this is you're also teaching them how to set boundaries, which
Mm.
is so important, because if they learn that, my kids also know how to set boundaries. No, I have class time at this time, I can't do this. Like, yes, it sounds like fun, but and they've learned that because I've modeled it. And my husband, who also works from home, has modeled it. Like, when our doors are closed, this is what we're doing. When our doors are open, come on in, right? And so it's really setting those boundaries.
I love this. This is probably the best advice for all parents out there going through this. And you know what? It's like a lot of the time, maybe a parent is thinking, I need my children to respect me, my boundaries. And what I hear you saying is, yes, that's true, but I will also respect yours. And you're making them just as important as you want to feel important for what you're doing. And then you're consistent with it, and modeling it. I love everything that you just said. And I'm so glad that we stumbled upon this moment in this conversation, because I think it's an important one, that what you just said will help so many people.
And
So,
just know, as
mhm.
they're going to mess it up. and you're going to mess it
And
up.
we are as well,
That's
right?
right. We're all going
Exactly.
to mess
That's
it up,
life.
and that's okay, right? Like, be
That's
okay
okay.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, my final question for you is how do you define success and what does that look like in the day in your life?
So that's a really hard question, um, because it's constantly changing, right? At one point, success for me was number of clients, how much money I have coming in, all of those things. That's great, and those are important, and I definitely look at that. But really, when I look at my whole life, it is absolutely a success because for me, the biggest thing was like I said, learning to connect in here with who I am and living my life so that it is truly what's in here and what's coming out are in complete alignment. And
Mm,
so that when I look at back at my day every day and I can say, yes, I did that today, or no, I didn't do that so well today, because we all have days that we don't do it so well. Like
that is
let's be
true.
real here, right? Like, but the days that I look back at the end of my day, because I track, like I said, I start in my morning, I track my gratitudes, but at the end of my day, I also track my wins for the day. And so when
Love it.
I can look at my wins at the end of the day and say, yeah, my life, my inner here and my outer were truly in alignment today, that's success. That success
Yes.
turns over into growth in my business, bringing on new clients, more income, all of those things. It always translates. The more I'm in alignment from here to here, the more that grows. When that's not growing, something is out of alignment in those places. And so I would actually challenge you as a if somebody is listening to this and they're struggling with something, whether it's business, whether it's relationships, whether it's physical health, whatever it is, I would challenge you to look and see, is my inner self in alignment with my outer self? And if you have no idea how to do that, that's what I love to help people with. As a holistic performance coach, that's what we do. We get those two places in alignment, help you figure out, who am I in here, so that I can reflect it outwardly. And when you do that, that's when things really start to go the way you want. You can create what you want in your world and in your life, and you can manifest in your affirmations. All of those things start to happen.
Wow. Lesley, wow, bringing it home. This is just such a powerful interview. I mean, you are just spot on, a leader and an educator and an inspirer and all the things. And it's just very clear and motivational to listen to you. It is no doubt why you have success in your business already and so much more success to come to you. Thank you so much. I love every single thing that you said on this, as will many, if not everybody, as well, relate to everything that you just said. So before we sign off, can you just leave your main website link again so that
Yeah.
people know how to reach you?
So they can go to resetrebuildrestore.com. And a great way also to connect is just shoot me a message on Facebook. And we'll connect. And I have a free Healthy Habit Blueprint. It's called Healthy Habit Blueprint. It's a free group. You can come in and I drop all kinds of stuff in there all the time. And we can just connect here.
Love
So
it.
which is a great way, because I love to have that connection. I also have a free habit finder assessment to understand your habits of thinking. And it's understandyourhabits.com. Is you can go to there and take that free habit finder assessment and sign up for the free 30-minute debrief, because that is how you'll actually understand what those results are showing and start this process.
Wonderful. Well, Lesley, thank you so much for being here. And wealthy women out there, just listen to all this magic that she just brought to you because it will change your life. You can feel it. Like just get those energies in proper order and your life will just go and connect your heart, your inners with your outers, and you'll get there and just keep following your dreams. So thank you so much, Lesley. And I look forward to bringing you even more beautiful success stories. And until then, just keep going forward, move forward with your dreams. You will get there a little bit at a time. You will arrive and enjoy the journey. And it's okay if you're zigzagging along the way. Just keep going forward. So thank you and see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, let's see.